guys, it's your own boy, the one only Great Dane, back with another season of Squad Busters, and yes, the game still exists, believe it or not. I know there's some people in my comments on a few videos that are confused. Is Squad Busters new season happening right now? Impossible. Yeah, so, turns out there is a new pass in the game. It doesn't look like it because I already completed it on the first day, believe it or not, and again, you can complete these things pretty fast. Again, I do think they reduced the amount of gems necessarily to do so. I believe it was 3,000 on the last tiers before, and it's down to like 2-3 now or something. And again, to give you guys an example here, it looks like it took me roughly 27 matches. I will call it 28 because I have a little more. So 28 times 4 is going to be roughly, that's 32, a little less. Yeah, I was going to say, I was estimating about 2 hours, maybe a little less, somewhere in between an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how good at the game you are and how many gems you're getting per match. If you're getting like over 1,000 gems per match, you're really good at the game. Again, I'm not going to say I got over 1,000 gems every match, and some modifiers make it hard to do that anyway. But it only took me roughly 2 hours to complete this entire pass. So, again, the significant thing in the... Again, you guys are probably wondering, so why are they even adding new passes still? We know the game is ending. So first of all, nothing in the game costs money, if that wasn't clear enough. The Super Pass only costs 10,000 coins, and just getting to the second tier already gets you more than that, again, if you guys weren't aware. So if you play the game, everything's free to play now. If you want to max out your account and try to get on the leaderboard, as you guys can see, I haven't played in like 3 days. I'm still top 13 local, top 100, I'll say, global. And it wouldn't actually be that hard for me to get to first place. I could probably do it in like 3 days if I just played this game for like 3 days, roughly, which again is still kind of a lot, but not as much as you would think. So, again, in terms of what's going on in the game, for the January pass, unfortunately, as you guys can probably tell, I have to always talk about this game retrospectively. It's not like Brawl Stars where we know what's coming into the game in the future. There is no road path, there is no, I guess they call it road map, telling us what's going to be happening with the game, because all we know now is the game is going to be ending soon enough. Again, the dev team said it would be somewhere around the summer, but it could be earlier, depending on how many people keep playing the game. And I want to play the game as long as possible. I still enjoy the game. I think there's some skill to it, and I've actually heavily changed the way I play the game once I started trying to get onto the ranked leaderboard, and I'll go into why that is. But anyway, we do have the new game mode in the game. I say new, it's been in the game for about 3 months, but if you guys didn't know, they actually added a completely new game mode into the game. It was during the December update, I guess about two-ish months ago, right? But you guys know Monster Trophy existed. We've had Kaiju Kirsten here the whole time. I think I probably prefer the Gingerbread Man one, just because the jumping over the bridges thing seems kind of ridiculous. We still have the Hatchling Run modes, as well as the regular modes and Arcade Blitz for some reason. I don't know. If you guys just really like playing Arcade Blitz, you can still get big squads in Squad League as well, as probably Gem Hunt too. So I really don't see the reason you'd want to play Arcade Blitz specifically. But if you guys haven't seen Auto Duel, there's not too much to talk about. Again, so retrospectively, the only thing that happened in the January season in terms of events in the game was we had the first 2 weekends of January, we had pinata parties, or essentially, you guys can rank up the pinatas, you get it to gold, you get all the rewards, that kind of thing. But here's my gripe with that. First of all, why was it only the first 2 weeks instead of, the entire month of January? They could have called it Pinata Party instead of, January Gem Pass. And in this title, it's probably going to be called February2, because we've already had a February Gem Pass, because that's how uneventful the game has been, honestly. So it was only that first 2 weeks, and again, the whole point of the Pinata Party mode is that you team up with other players playing the game who collect pinata sticks, to help you fill up your pinata to get maximum rewards. But guess what? That's pretty hard to do when the API is down and you can't actually guarantee that other players have the amount of sticks that they're saying, first of all, assuming you can even find active players in this game. And then, secondly, again, if there's hardly anyone playing, the API is down, so people can pinata scam you for, like, I don't even know why they would at this point. Resources are, I mean, look how many coins and hero points I have. Resources are absolutely pointless now. You can get so much. Again, I thought I'd have more, honestly. I'm surprised I don't have more than I do right now, and I'll tell you how I got so much. But yeah, that's literally the entire January season or month, was just 2 pinata party weekends. That was it. That was the entire month. So again, that's why I want to play a quick match of Auto Duel to show you guys what this is if you haven't seen it yet. I don't even know if Sir Claz has done a video on this one. I'm not trying to call anyone out here, but again, I'm playing Royal King, and that's for a reason if you guys don't know how this mode works. Again, I'm surprised I found someone playing so fast. I think the modifier is always double trouble, but essentially there's this coin well in the middle, and you just try and spam as many, it's called auto, right? You try and get as many characters as you can, as fast as you can. And when you get the coins in this mode, what makes it so interesting is, now, I don't know if I'm playing against a bot. I didn't actually think about it. If you defeat the boss in the middle, you get like 3 keys, so that's kind of huge, I'll say. You only have the 3 refreshes, so you kind of got to be careful with that. This might be a bot. He's not playing very well. But what makes this mode so interesting is, well, I won already, man. That had to have been a bot, unfortunately. But I honestly think I might enjoy this more than I enjoy the actual game. But what makes it so interesting is when you get characters out of chests, they don't actually join your squad. They immediately go and try to fight your opponents, either their summoned units or the hero themselves. Again, I think it's pretty fun. Again, it was a lot more fun when I was playing against real players. It might just be bots now at this point, if I'm being honest, but I still think it's worth a try if you guys haven't tried it. I think Royal King's the best because all his knights can just hoard up all the coins if you throw them in random directions, and you can just spawn an ungodly amount of units. If you play, I don't think I've ever lost a match of Auto Duels playing Royal King. I played it maybe for like a good 10 matches straight when it originally released. They're real players. And I was basically unbeatable. I'm not trying to brag here, but again, it's a pretty fun mode. I don't think there's a way to really play it with friends or anything, but again, let me actually check on it. Give me 1 second. Alright, so again, I was looking at any resources that I could find on the game, and there's literally like 5 videos on YouTube that even appear to feature Auto Duels, and I can't even make this up. 4 hours ago, OJ made a video about Squad Busters in 2026, and he played like 4 matches of Auto Duels. The first 2 at least were bots, and then the last part of the video is him losing to an actual player, and him yelling, "Second place is still a win." I can't, I really can't. I somehow have been thwarted once again by the man with the time machine. He clearly saw this video, and he went back in time to make his video about Auto Duels. I can't believe he beat me to it, but again, my point is, because there's so little resources, I don't actually know if you can. You obviously, it doesn't seem, despite the icon where it's Showdown, it's the exact same icon, because of course it is. I think it's only a 1v1, so even if you aren't able to invite a player, I think you would only be able to play against them. There's obviously no teamwork here, but I think that would be really fun. I think I have 1 person online right now, or I did a few seconds ago. There aren't a lot of people playing this game, believe it or not. I don't want to invite them right now, even if I did, to test it out, but Again, you guys are gonna have to let me know. Get 2 people online, invite a friend, see if you can play auto duels one-on-one against each other, because I think there's a lot of potential for fun there. At least auto duels might be more fun than the actual game. I hate to say it, but anyway, if we hop over to the shop, you have style tickets, 600 style tickets, because I didn't have enough already. I can't spend them. I don't have enough. Okay. We have more star tokens in the treasure room. Again, I'll do my due diligence. I'll still show you guys all my progress, quote unquote, in the game so far. I'm at basement 9 right now. And again, there's so little to talk about at this point. Again, the GOAT, OJ, the only YouTuber that's famous that still has the goal to make a video on Squad Busters in 2026, besides me. I'll say, and obviously I'm not famous, but I'm crazy, so that's why I'm still making videos on Squad Busters. That and the fact that, again, now that I am in a certain position, I'll say, on the Squad League leaderboard, I do plan to steal first globally at some point, but again, if you guys just watch my Brawl Stars video, I only have 12 hours to get that Ultra Trophy box. It's less now, and I'm really gonna have to play very quickly, and hopefully get about 100 trophies an hour, which again is certainly doable, but I'm gonna have to be incredibly hasty, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, let's see, so I showed you guys in 1376, take a general look at my account stats. I'm max level 1239, and level 184, because what is a game without 3 different level bars that don't explain what they are even slightly? So journey level is the world journey. I have all the worlds unlocked, so that's why it says that. That is my, okay, so that's my treasure room level. So instead of, oh, I actually see it now down on the little icon. They never explained any of this, but I'm finally reading it, guys. We can finally understand Squad in 2026. And then the XP level is just essentially how much you're actually playing the matches of the game, because as you guys know, or I think you would know, is I believe there is still a cap to how much treasure room progress you can make per day, regardless of how well you're doing in your matches, unfortunately. I now have 5,326 first place wins, 6,533 wins in general, and I think a win is top 4, if I'm not mistaken. I still have my legacy streak, which again, if you guys didn't watch that video all that time ago, I don't think I'll ever be untriggered by the legacy streak, because there was a glitch in the game that would make it so that you couldn't even save your streak. And then they just wouldn't fix it, and they would hardly reimburse you anything for losing your streak, even if you won like 300 games in a row legitimately and you wanted to save it, you just couldn't. So anyway, it totals that at 7,986 battles fought. Again, I don't know how it's calculating that exactly. Yeah, it must have the actual count somewhere. So I've almost played 10,000 battles. I'm sure I will by the end of this season. If we scroll all the way down, I've busted 10,101 squads, busted 35,234 bosses, super bosses. I'm guessing that's like the Mega Kaiju and Mega Skeleton, 7,128. I've collected 4,140,775 gems. I've held 4,461 gems in a single match. Somehow, I don't even remember what mode that was. I might have talked about it with that one free-to-play player over on Discord. I don't actually remember what match I played. It was something with a significant modifier, though, obviously. I really miss when we had that old trader strat in 1.0. You could just spam as many traders as possible. That was a lot of fun. It did start to break the game at a point, though, I think. Biggest squad was 54. I think that's still a 1.0 strat as well. Most megas don't even exist. A lot of these are still just 1.0 stats too, which is sad. And again, as you guys can tell, I still don't play a lot of battles in a team. I don't even remember playing 3 battles in a team. I don't even know why I have 3 battles played in a team. I don't remember when I did that. Even if people try to invite me to their lobbies, and again, if you guys aren't aware, what's annoying, and whenever you invite someone into your lobby, unlike Brawl Stars, you don't actually see their hero or character in your lobby. They're just kind of in this selection screen, and there's 2 people online now. Again, I'm not gonna invite anyone just because I don't have a lot of time, especially, but anyway, I said I have 8,508,650 coins and 5,229,225 hero points. So in order to get a ridiculous amount of resources, all you need to do is queue in a hatchling team run and then go do something else. And I'm actually serious about that. Obviously, as time goes on, there's less and less players playing the game. It's going to be harder to actually get any significant amount of hatchlings from going AFK, but again, I have this many resources, so I probably actually have the most resources in the game. I'd be very surprised if anyone has more. Even the players that played more than me in terms of matches probably still don't have this many coins or hero points. But if we hop over to the collection, and there's still some more interesting things in the game, but I'm going to save that until next month, so there's at least still something to talk about. I currently have 138,341 star tokens. I can't open star chests. It'll still take me to the screen, I just can't do anything. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because it says there's more content coming soon. I didn't even realize, guys, they're gonna update squads still. We better keep a lookout. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, star chests are completely irrelevant if you've already maxed your account. And I will say something else, if you guys weren't aware, I think you could see it when I queued into the auto duels match, but when you play matches now, it doesn't just show like your username, your profile icon, it also shows who your 2 starter squaddies are and the spells you've chosen. And that, again, that was all the way back in the December update, because that's the only update we're going to be getting until this game shuts down. So anything significant that is in the game now came from December. I just have neglected to talk about it because I knew there would hardly be any content to talk about going forward, so I needed to save something to tightly grasp onto something left in this game to talk about. But again, as far as Squad League goes, if I were to log into a match right now, it used to take up to 30 seconds at the start of January. Within a month, the wait time has skyrocketed all the way up to as much as 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So again, still doable, but not great. So again, Peeps, as you can tell, is how Peeps is. Oh, that's the other thing I want to mention. This game is even, I'll say, deader than it seems, because some of these accounts are literally just dead accounts left in the game now, and they have higher trophies than the people who are still playing the game, and you're probably wondering how that's possible. They're not hacking. The issue is, whenever you log into the game during a new season, it cuts your trophies in half up to 8,000 trophies. So at most you could have 4,000 trophies at the start of a season, but if you never log in again, it seems that it just keeps the trophies you had when you were last playing. So the player who has 8,001 trophies at the start of every season, they're probably going to be number 1 in the world, because unless someone gets more trophies than that and then stops playing, that amount of trophies just stays on the squad leaderboard apparently indefinitely. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. You'd think it would still cut their trophies in half, but for some reason it doesn't. So there's going to be quite a few dead accounts stuck on the leaderboard, unfortunately. And again, if you're wondering, so Peeps is pushing, but not as much as it looks like. The last alive account that I know of that's actually on the leaderboard here is TCM Dead Roar. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I usually get triggered when I get in the matches, but again, I guess the last thing I can talk about, I told you guys I changed my strategy. So if I'm actually playing a serious match of Squad League, what I'll do is I'm always still going to be choosing Barbarian King. There's no question for me to that, because he's really good in the Royal Ghost mode. He's really good in the Loot Goblins mode. He's really good in general against squads with a lot of squaddies because of his ability. And so him just getting an inherent advantage in some modes, to me, it seems ridiculous to choose anyone else. He also gets a big advantage in big squads because all the squaddies generally have less health, so he can pretty much one punch them into oblivion. And again, I don't think I've posted it yet, but I will soon. A video of me playing a match of big squads where I just completely annihilate another huge squad in 2 seconds using Barbarian King, and then you'll understand why I always choose Barbarian King. But I switched up my starters to, I believe I used to use Max before, now I'm using Goblin, so I gave up some speed, but I still have some speed by using Burst Shot with Leon. That makes me a bit faster, and I'm using the Coin Stash because even if I'm playing really well in matches, I still have a very difficult time building out the squad here. So in order to get a max squad, what I've done is, if I go to my lineup, so again, I got rid of Chicken, another speedster, so I got rid of 2 speedsters, so I'm a bit slower now, but I usually end up winning a lot more matches because I have a more powerful squad in general. And again, it doesn't matter how fast you are if you're losing and you can't fight the squad that's already in first place. So I have Trader for the power of the potion, which again does inherently give you a speed boost, so that's nice. But obviously it's not as frequent, but having the Coin Stash helps you get it more frequently and you can use it more when you need to as well. So that synergy always works well. Heavy for the extra health. Poco is actually a necessity. If you don't draft Poco at the start of the match, you're in trouble, I will say. If you're fighting other squads and you have Poco, you're almost certainly going to lose. You need Poco. Yeah, I'll make jokes about Poco in Brawl Stars, but he is the most important squaddie, I think, in this game, if you're actually going try hard. I also switched out, I believe I was using, I have to look here if I can even remember. I want to say it was Nita before, because apparently her bear gives your squad an extra defense buff stat, but it's, I tested it in, it was, I want to say a month ago, back in the training area. If you guys don't even know, this game has a training area. And it's such an insignificant amount, and I think it might also go away if the bear goes down, or Bruce, so it just doesn't really seem worth it. So I switched out to Penny again to get those 3 keys, so Penny essentially pays for herself in terms of coins. You always want to make sure you get the chest cost up to 50 coins, and then you just get an entire character for free. So we also have Ice Wizard for the slowing is just really powerful. Wizard, because especially in big squads, Wizard and Heavy, you get that extra health, you get that extra, what would you call it, reduced cooldown on spells, right? If you guys didn't know, the health and the reduced cooldown on spells stacks in big squads, and that's why that video is going to seem so ridiculous when I finally share it, because of how powerful I actually got at the end of that match. And it's the same thing with Battle Healer's heals. I'm not 100% sure if the damage increases if you get multiple musketeers. I think it does, but again, the issue with that is you still have to get the enemy squad into that zone of damage. Again, it's a lot like playing Trunk, but in Squad Busters. They need to be within that specific small ring around your squad to do that extra damage. And then Optimus Prime, again, what's nice is he has the synergy with Barbarian King where he gets even more additional health because he's a fighter squaddie. But additionally, one of his traits, despite being a 3-star, is that he starts already in his second form, or fusion form, which means that you only have to purchase him twice before he's already at max fusion. So again, you end up spending even less coins. And I'll say, in terms of actual strategy now, what I'm doing to win most of my matches is I used to always go to the middle, and again, I was using that bullet spell before, but again, if you're fighting a bigger squad, that is the most determining factor in this game, is how many squaddies does the other squad have in determining if you're going to win. It's not as important in big squads if you're playing Barbarian King for the mentioned already reason, where you can just mega punch them all. But in regular matches, it's very important. So what I'll do is I'll literally spend like the first minute of the match just running back and forth between the 2 chests in the spawn area to get the coin cost up to about 35 to 50 coins. And I can do that because I have the Goblin and the loot sack, coin stash, I'm trying to remember what it's called. The coin stash and goblin allow me to build my squad up to the point where I already have the chest cost up to about 35 coins, which is huge, because that allows me to go defeat the other bot players easily, which gives me more keys and helps me build my squad even faster, and by that point I can hopefully get my first rare characters, Penny, so I can get Penny, and again, you get additional coins out of the loot spots in addition to the key, which helps you build your squad even faster. So it all just kind of builds on top of each other here, and again, I hate to say there is actually a strategy here. There's always going to be some amount of RNG, right, and where the bots spawn and a bunch of other things, but yeah, you know, based on my position on the leaderboard, there is a strategy still in this game, and I'd say my most difficult times, there's certain players, and I'm surprised they can do so well with them. I don't think I've actually beat Peeps in a match yet, believe it or not. I beat everyone else I've played against pretty much on the leaderboards except Peeps, and again, I'm not particularly sure why. I must have made a mistake somewhere, but he was even playing Spike and doing well, but he was doing the same thing I noticed, where he would spend a very large amount of time in the spawn area before he'd even come out. So the biggest mistake you can make if you're looking duel and squad league is fighting other real players early, because you're going to decrease your squad size and then probably get third party 2 seconds later, or you're just never going to be able to build your squad fully, and then you're going to be at a disadvantage in the last minute of the match. So you really, unless you really think you can win without losing any squaddies, you should never fight another real player, unfortunately. And that was a big thing even back in 1.0 when Sir Claz was playing in those tournaments and all that. You never really want to fight early in this game. But again, in terms of heroes, from what I'm seeing, again, the heroes I still see least in the game are Spike and P.E.K.K.A, believe it or not. I still see a lot of Sonic. I still see... I don't see as much Barbarian King as I would have thought. I see more Mortis and Royale King. Then probably... I'd say it's probably tied between Royal King, Sonic, and Mortis, then Barbarian King. I'm trying to consider which ones I see. I want to say then Archer Queen, then Spike, then 8-Bit, and then P.E.K.K.A. Again, 8-Bit, P.E.K.K.A, and Spike are still probably the least powerful squaddies. Again, when I was losing to Peeps' Spike, I don't think I was in a good position on the map, because I was essentially forced into his, what is that, thorny grenades, right? Even if you're doing really well, you can't just sit in the thorny grenade area, because Spike's squad will be healing and yours is going to be taking damage, and that's not good. And then Archer Queen can still do well if she's able to, like, I don't know how... It gets to a point where Archer Queen, if she can really stack well, it's like the Barbarian King, but even more difficult to pull off, which is why I don't even know why you would bother playing Archer Queen, is you can spam your shots and try to kill the other player's hero, and sometimes that'll work, but it's a lot more risky. 8-Bit, he has a very good defense when he has his turret, but he's usually going to be in trouble when he doesn't. That's the issue there. P.E.K.K.A's just slow. P.E.K.K.A can do a good amount, but again, usually the trick is destroy P.E.K.K.A's squad and then destroy P.E.K.K.A. There's not too much you can do there. And then Spike, he's pretty much entirely dependent on those thorny grenades, so if you get him to waste the thorny grenades and then chase him, I feel like it's almost guaranteed that you're gonna win. Again, unfortunately, I haven't been able to win against Peeps because he's obviously good, but I'm sure I'll get him eventually. Especially if I'm going for top place on the global leaderboard, which again, I'll need to at least 8,000. That'll take 3-ish days at least, maybe 4, we'll have to see. And then Sonic, again, Sonic is just fast. If you run around enough in ring grab, you might just win, who knows. And then again, there's one specific scenario where Sonic players can use the healing light spell and the bomb and his super, where they can double stun you, blow you up with the bomb, and then probably defeat you, hopefully. Again, it still doesn't do a crazy amount of damage, but there is a strategy to actually beat another squad with Sonic, but again, he has a pretty long wait time for his super, again, which is called Super Sonic, I believe, to actually load. So again, it's risky like the Archer Queen, but if it works, it can work. I just think Barbarian King's the best hero here. Again, What's nice about Mortis is his bats can stun the enemy hero, and sometimes he can defeat the hero like that. Again, similar to the Archer Queen. And Mortis is always going to be more powerful at the start of the game, so that's also why it's important to stay in the spawn area and build up your squad as quickly as possible. But again, yeah, my strategy has changed. I win a lot more matches now. And again, that's really all there is to say about the current position of squad. Again, hope you guys gotta let me know. Can you actually, first of all, are you guys even playing the game? Secondly, are you buying the pass? Third of all, if you do play the game, have you played Auto Duels? What do you think of it? And fourth, do you have any friends on your friends list you can invite and try to play Auto Duels with them and see if it actually lets you play against them? Because that's probably the most fun you could have in this game right now, if I'm being honest. The regular modes are still kind of meh. But yeah, again, I think I've pretty much covered everything, because the majority of events that took place were in December, and I covered that in January, so yeah, again, you guys gotta let me know if you're excited for, I'll say again, the future of Squad, even though there's little future left. It's probably gonna be February, March, April. It's called at least up to May. We don't know about June or July, because they're calling it halfway through the year, right? So I'd say we have until at least the month of May. That gives us 4 more months of squads, right? So yeah, again, let me know what you think about this, I'll say, glitch on the ranked leaderboard as well. And if there is anything else you actually look forward to in squad, or if you play daily, let me know why. Do you really just enjoy the game that much, or are you looking to, again, like make position on the ranked leaderboard, or some other reason that I'm not aware of? But other than that, again, I have a lot of trophies to push in Brawl Stars to hopefully get that Ultra Trophy box in time. And other than that, let's see how far I can take this, guys.